What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to another episode of Top 5 Comics. This month, we will be or tonight, we'll be discussing releases that came out last month, October 2025. As always, I've got my main man, Dolan, here with me, aka Drew, aka I Write Comics. Also, I can't forget Heavy D. We've got to keep Heavy D in there. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well. It's been an interesting Veterans Day. Had the day off. Been working on projects at the same time. Went to the dentist. 41 years, no cavities, no fillings still. So that's a win. And spent a good portion of the day watching Band of Brothers in the Twilight Zone, doing some script editing, reading some comics. So yeah, it's been a fairly nice, productive day off.
Hell yeah. Nice. My day was not the day that I wanted it to be. So my disposal in my kitchen went out the end of last week, which is fine. It's like, all right, cool. And it's like a two-sided sink, so I've been, just trying to use the other side. And then my stove messed up today. So I'm just like, what the hell, man? So it was an expensive weekend. So I've got a guy coming to do my sink, and because I'm just replacing my entire sink, it's time for a new sink. And then since I'm getting that done, I'd been toying with doing some work on my countertops, so I'm doing that at the same time. So my whole kitchen is just like not a kitchen right now. It's interesting. But that was my day of prepping, so I'm like, I want to take a nap. So I'll sleep well tonight, I'll say that. October comics, before we jump in, like what did you feel like October was a good month, an interesting month? What were your thoughts?
It was a interesting month. I would say the ones that were good really stuck out. The ones that are bad really stuck out too. But I will say the ones that were good, I had a really hard time really separating, breaking them down from 1 to 10. But it took me a minute, but I got there. But there were some damn good comics this month. But like I said, there were also some damn bad, damn horrible comics.
Yeah. Well, I struggled with my top 5 list. So if you're tuning in for the first time, Drew kind of recaps an overall list for the month. I will share my top debuts for the month. And there were plenty of number ones that came out, especially with all these tie-ins to the X-Men event, Revelation, Age of Revelation. Oh, sure. Man. And it was just, I kind of begrudgingly put 2 books in my top 5 so they'd be there. Not that I thought they were awful. I didn't think they were awful, but I was just like, I don't know if I'm excited. Which, when we get to those, people were like, wait, one of these in particular, you're like, I don't know how I feel about this. But I know I might be in the minority with that book, so it's there. It's on the list. Other than that, what all's been going on with you, man? Anything exciting, interesting? I know we're kind of wrapping up the year. I think you're taking, as far as cons and campaigns, you're taking a breather for a second. And I know that books are getting sent out right now, so that's all good news. But anything else on the docket for you?
Yeah, so Unholy Nightmare 2, we got together the last of the orders of what addresses we had. We have sent out God knows how many emails to people. Hey, send us your damn email addresses, your damn mailing addresses. And so I think there's probably 6-7 people that never sent them in, but the remaining people, hey, you're getting your stuff. So the last of the orders got packed up this week. Those are going out. So things are in motion with TCM Press. So nice. 2 books specifically are well into production right now, the subsequent issues. So those are happening. Aurelio's starting back up with Unholy Nightmare 3. He had to take a little breather. He was working on another project that we both worked on as an anti-bullying comic for a small store in New Jersey.
Hell yeah.
And, it was fun and interesting. I'll say that. And I got new covers coming in all the time. Got covers locked in for MegaCon. So exciting stuff.
Heck yes. Before we do jump into tonight's books, I do want to say it is Veterans Day, so just took some time to recognize that this morning. Drew, you serve, so thank you for your service, and a lot of our mutual friends have served, and I did not because I'm a loser, but so grateful that y'all did. But no, I would say we live in a time where I think the military, unfortunately, gets just such a bad rap from so many people that are just uneducated and uninformed, and have you know issues to grind, and they're just grinding with the wrong people. But yeah, I wish. Unfortunately, we had a lot of protests in my town today. Well, not in my town, but my nearby town about stupid stuff going on, and I'm like, today's not the day. Like, let's honor the people that have served our country, the loved ones who have had family members serve, just whatever it might be. Because I don't know, I feel like we don't do enough of that to pay respects to the fact that we live in a free country and we can and do say and do so many things. So, but yeah, I don't know if you want to share some of your history. I know when we were doing, and I want to get back to doing the Marvelous Mondays, but I know when we were doing Marvelous Monday, you and Shield Wall would talk a little bit because y'all both served, and y'all would pull some of that while discussing, especially when discussing Captain Marvel. But yeah, I don't know if you want to give people a background of what you did, because people that just watch the comic streams may not know that you did serve.
Yeah. So yeah, I was 8 years active duty in the U.S. Air Force from 04 to 2012. First 2 years I served in the RAF Mildenhall in England. Got to travel all over Europe. And my last 6 years I was stationed at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, and I got to spend most of that time over in Baghdad. Was over in Iraq, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Afghanistan. Yeah, but spent my longest tour overseas deployment was in Baghdad, and yeah, eight of the best years of my life, and my 2 years in England. Those were, I call those my college years. Those are my
Yep.
fun 2 years. I would never trade for anything.
Yeah, I've heard you share a lot of stories about your time in England, so I know for you that was a really fun, you know, uh, I don't want to say developmental, but it was just
It
a
was in a
key
way,
moment
yeah,
in your life. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, but no, seriously, thank you. If you were tuning in and you served our country, thank you for doing that. Um, Honestly, it's something that is near and dear to me, and I really genuinely don't feel like we give our veterans enough credit or enough respect these days. So, if you're one of those people that don't, like, fix yourself.
Mhm.
But top 5 comics. We have a shorter list than what we've been having recently. So I think that's a testament to what Drew was saying about the quality. The good books were definitely good. The books that weren't good definitely were not good. Because we have a lighter honorable mention list than what we typically have. But hey, that is okay. And before we jump into that, we are going to go to the chat real quick just to see who all's here. And as always, we do have Cage and Corey here with evening and happy Veterans Day to the vets in the chat. Yeah, anyone tuning in, happy Veterans Day. I hope you did something to just reflect, or if you did serve, treat yourself, rest, whatever it might be. But I hope you did something for yourself. We also have Zax, who is Canadian, coming in with a salute. And I salute you, good sir. Never mind. I started to say Zach, so Zach serves in a certain way, but I won't. I don't know if he wants me to share that information. But yeah, he's up there in Canada, or our neighbor upstairs. Coming in with the hey Zachs from Corey. We also have me coming in saying, starting in a sec. We were discussing some personal stuff in the back. And then Kaiser Jose with sup nerds, sup rockin' Joshy Station. Kaiser, did you happen to see that Robbie did a live stream where he was like announcements for the future of the channel? And I was like, oh my God, is he ending the channel? So I start watching it, and he jumps right into it. He's like, hey, I haven't done a live stream in a while. I just want to come in and do a live stream because there's going to be some changes to the channel, and I want to come and share that. But I want to kind of give some precedence as to why we're having changes. And he starts going into all this stuff that I haven't been taking care of myself or my health. He's like, which those of you tuning in, you've probably noticed, like there's been skinny Robbie, then fat Robbie, then skinny Robbie, then fat Robbie.
He's
And he's like, but
skinny. I've never seen
well,
skinny. I've never seen skinny Robbie.
I saw an old video of him, and I was like, dang, Rob, like I will say for him was skinny for sure. But he was kind of talking about his health and how some health things came up, and I'm like, okay. And then he starts talking about work and how he's taking on more responsibilities at the comic shop, and then he starts talking about just family and relationships and how he needs to take on more responsibility there. And I'm like, dude, is he like ending his channel? And then he's like, we get like 45 minutes in, and finally he's like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm stopping exactly, but I just know I'm stopping some things. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? This is like your reviews. You don't have you don't actually have an answer.
Yeah, it's like what I do. It's like everything going on right now. It's aight. It's aight. I don't know.
It's aight. It's aight. I gotta give something up somewhere. So the only thing he did say he's for sure keeping are his weekly comic reviews, which spicy.
Well, it's gold. It's gold every week.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite things to tune into because I'll watch it while driving home just to see what crazy stuff he's gonna say. Because you never know if you're gonna get great little clips like this.
Too spicy.
Which book was that he was holding?
I think it was Peacemaker, but he was talking about the show.
Oh,
he was talking about the TV show because of the orgy scene, and how it was too spicy. And I was like, bro, no. But he essentially said he's keeping his weekly comic show or review show, and then he's keeping whatever his whatever show, and then he's like, but yeah, everyone else let me know what you like or don't like, and then I'll decide what I'm getting rid of. And I was like, oh god, I can't believe I watched 45 minutes of this just
an indecisive asshole being more indecisive.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kaiser, it was I was getting ready for work, and I think he did it, what is today, Wednesday? I think he did it Monday night, and then I saw it Tuesday morning while getting ready for work. And wait, no, today is Tuesday. I don't know. Yeah. My week is a hot mess express right now. And then Kaiser put, does this mean Josh could take the rock and mantle? We'll see. We'll see if I can take that rock and mantle. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of Rock and Robbie. I thought maybe he was retiring. He's not. He's gonna still be around, which just means that.
Yep.
Well, go ahead.
So still being around, being an indecisive asshole. So yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep plugging. We'll keep plugging away with Floppy Drop every week to see if we can compete with him a little bit. And I will say we got 6 new subscribers.
We will be decisive.
We will be decisive. We do not have that problem. We can very easily share what we like or disliked about books. But I will say we changed the thumbnail for last week's Floppy Drop, and I got 6 new subscribers off of it. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll take this as a win. But yeah. All right. Without further ado, Drewski, are you ready to get into our top 5 comics from October?
Let's do it.
Nice. I think as we move into 2026, I'm just going to change this to top comics because we never come in at 5. Nope. Honorable mentions. Coming in with our first honorable mention, we have Green Lantern number 28, written by Jeremy Adams with art by V. Ken Marion. Oh, buddy. And colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr. Drew, why did this make your top 10 list?
It was a very fun read. I distinctly remember the week this came out. It was the first, I think it was one of the very few books that week on all of comics that I had fun reading because the character was having fun. And I remember distinctly with Marvel and DC, it was the only one. And it was just great seeing a hero have fun, loving what he's doing. And it's setting the page for things to come in the Green Lantern universe. We see this horrific image of Hal in the future, and we see this Omen in the Book of Oa to come. We see the Kyle working on his white power lantern, trying to grow his white power, and it's a very fun read.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. He did a really good job coming out of this huge event. Because you do get a little bit of a breather here, but you get plenty of setup moving forward. So while it is transitional, it doesn't necessarily feel completely transitional. They're this, you know what I mean? Sometimes there are those comics that when you're coming out of a big event, it feels like, okay, now we're just resetting everything to now go this new direction. But this still feels very much like a continuation, especially for characters in the individual arcs, while also saying like, okay, we are past this event now, but here are where all the pieces are standing, so we can tell these stories moving forward. But yeah, I thought it was a really solid read. Um, I am a Kyle Rayner fan, so I'm always down for that. Seeing him test his white lanternness.
Yeah,
But
get that white power, make that white power stronger. Yep.
Yeah, white power ring. But yeah, no, I thought this was a good issue. I'm loving Green Lantern under Jeremy Adams. I hope he just keeps getting to knock it out and do his thing for tons more issues because he deserves it. But
yes, he does.
Y'all got to go buy the book. So, alrighty, moving on to guys. We're like halfway through November talking about October books. Of course, there's going to be spoilers. I love it though. All right, moving on to our number 9 pick. Coming in with the honorable mentions, we have Huck, Big Bad World number 5, written by Mark Miller, art by Raphael Albuquerque, and colors by Dave McCaig. Drew, this I'm trying to make sure I don't get my issues mixed, but I feel like issue 4 was the one that had the pretty shock ending, and this is the aftermath, correct?
Yes, this is the aftermath. Yeah, and this is where we really learn about this this man and this group that he has, where they're trying to take out the superpower people. They're trying to pretty much assassinate them all, and trying to uncover all these witches and why they're doing what they're doing. And it's the penultimate issue, which to the issue that came out this past week, and it's a really good issue. It's not as great as the 8 others ahead of this, but it's a solid read.
Agreed. I thought this was a really good book. There's a lot of tension in this issue because of what happens at the end of issue 4, and we don't necessarily have Huck deal with that head on. He doesn't know yet, so I think when he gets to issue 6. But just the fallout and kind of learning some of the stuff that was kind of hiding behind the curtain that comes forward in the story, I thought was really intriguing, really interesting. And yeah, it's the best thing I can say is the tension that you have in this, waiting for that shoe to drop, and then the fact that it doesn't drop in this issue, and you're like, oh my god. It just makes it feel like it's going to be even worse when you do get to issue 6. So yeah, great book, great run. Mark Miller continuously just killing it. No surprise. But we do have Nadia hopping in with Joshy. What's up, Nadia? How are you? And she said, I miss you, all caps. I miss you too. And then hugs and kisses. Ew. No, I'm kidding.
Hugs and kissing. That's what she's been missing.
I know. And then she said, what's up, Drew?
Hey.
And Nadia's been killing it. So she's got her channel, Horror with Nads, where they discuss a bunch of different horror TV shows and movies.
How am I not involved? I fucking love horror films.
You know what? Y'all need to talk and do. She streams a lot. So she keeps herself busy. She also had an 8-hour stream that she did for fundraising, and just kudos to her for doing it. I'll do 2 hours of streaming, and when I'm done, especially if I'm hosting, like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
So yeah, she did an 8-hour stream where she had panels coming in and out, and they were doing different things and playing different games. And she raised a good chunk of money. So kudos to her for that. And I'm glad that was a successful stream. She ate a bunch of nasty food that she doesn't like, and it was really fun to watch. So, and then Drew, she is saying, yeah, Drew, come on and talk horror movies.
I know, send Josh your deets, and that way I can, he can send it to me and we can link up. Because Josh knows, everyone who knows me knows, I love horror. I love horror movies. I love Unholy Nightmare is my superhero horror series. So yeah, the amount of horror
Horror.
films I've seen, it puts the commoner to shame.
Indeed. He is a big horror fan, Nadia. Nads. Oops. And then yes, she raised $1,000 to donate. So, and yes, we always have to make sure we clarify horrors or horror.
Horror,
Either way,
yeah.
let's talk. Winky face. But no, Nadia, it's great seeing you here. I do miss you. Big hugs to you and Chris.
See, that's why I like Slumber Party Massacre. So you get horrors and horror all in the same film, which is great.
All in the same film.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, are you ready to move on to our next honorable mention?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We have Nemesis Forever, #2, written by Mark Miller, art by Matteo Scalera, and colors by Giovanni Nero. Again, I would say Nemesis is probably my favorite thing that Mark Miller does. It's the one thing I get the most excited for every time it comes out, just because I want to see what kind of crazy crap is he going to do with this character. But he did something really interesting with this issue that he hasn't done before, and he revealed who is under the mask.
Yeah, and we see what he's doing. He's pretty much, I guess you could say, an evil Elon Musk or an evil Mark Zuckerberg, if you will.
Pretty much.
And
yeah,
and he's trying to take control of a lot of tech, trying to get a control of a lot of these scientists. And yeah, it's pretty interesting the power play that he's making. And we've already read issue 3. It came out last week, and that was something. And it was wild and crazy. And there's a certain tech that he wants to get his hands on. But yeah, what's great about the tension in this issue is all with I think, comes from the spy in this issue, the undercover agent, because we discover, she's preggers. This isn't good. And on top of that, the person that she's impersonating may have broken out of prison. So that's not looking good either. But yeah, it's a very fun read, and it is so wild and crazy that Mark Miller can go from writing someone who is just the embodiment of evil, Nemesis, to someone who's like pretty much the embodiment of good with Huck. And it just shows you how versatile that he is as a writer.
So I'm right there with you. At first I wasn't sure how I felt, because I would say Nemesis kind of takes a little bit of a backseat, especially in this issue, and we do spend quite a bit of time with the agent, the spy,
and that's not a problem.
It wasn't. I was worried that it was gonna be, but I'm really interested, because I mean, if you've read any Nemesis book before, things probably are not gonna go well for her. And there's a lot of stuff introduced that I'm just like, I don't want anything to happen to her. I'll put it that way. But yeah, she's in a bit of a pickle on a couple different levels. So, but also the fact that, this is the one spoiler I'll talk about, the fact that she lost an eye on purpose to
what she sacrificed to get this job, to get this position. It is insane.
And then, she has to prove herself with this group that she's working with too. So,
look, this is a series. People got to remember, if you've never read Volume 1, I would not be surprised if Nemesis does something to her baby. I would not be surprised.
Yep. Right there with you. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting gleefully, but also cautiously, because Nemesis is the one character that can do the worst awful thing, and I still love coming back to read it
because he enjoys it. He's unabashedly evil and enjoys doing it, and does it without any qualms, regret, and he's gleefully doing it, and we're enjoying it because he's being real. That's who he is.
Yeah. I am curious, I mentioned we did get to see who's under the mask, but they also do say this is just one of the many aliases that he uses. So do you think that over the next few stories, we're going to learn about different aliases that he has? Do you think that's something Mark's going to just slowly start threading
Probably.
in?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Nice. And then it still keeps the question of who really is Nemesis, because all these people are just...
Well, I think we got him who he really is in the previous run, when he saw like he was a kid and he's going through like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that's right. That's right. I did forget about that. You are correct, senor. But no, I always love reading Nemesis. I think it's a fun, action-packed, wild book. And it's always just a pleasure to read. So
expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. Real quick, Nadia did say Slumber Party. Oh yeah, Drew, we're gonna be best of friends. I love it. And Kaiser put Second King Spies volume would probably get as excited as I do for Nemesis.
That's not that can't happen. The character is sorry, shit.
Yeah, I mean, I do wish I'm still so mad when Mark was like, "Oh, we have a big announcement coming out from the Hollywood Reporter," and I was like, "It's gonna be a Nemesis movie, or
finally,
King of
after
Spies
20
movie."
years, yeah.
And then nope, it was a Kickstarter campaign. I was like, "Come on,
it's
bro."
like
I mean,
okay,
I will always take new Mark Miller comics, but
yeah,
did we need the Hollywood Reporter for that?
It's like, come on, can we just get an exciting announcement that we're getting a kick-ass action director doing a Nemesis film? It's just,
yeah. Fiend Machine, welcome. Fiend Machine says, with Reborn and Nemesis in the same universe, what happens when Nemesis eventually dies?
Don't know.
We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. We also have Jana Banana hopping in. What's up, Jana? She put Josh Wood. I'll take it. Jana, I haven't seen you I need to message you and catch up. I haven't talked to you in forever. I hope you're doing well. I hope the baby's doing well. Tell Copa I said hello. But yeah, I need to reach out to you guys and catch up. We also have as far as I know, a new person to the channel. So Greater Parrot 3. Hello, nice to see you here. Thoughts on JSA number 13?
Didn't read it.
I didn't either. I read the first, I think, 3 or 4 issues and kind of just backed off. I'll probably catch those back up with trade.
As soon as he killed Ted Grant, I pulled a Kramer, but I'm out because Ted Grant is pretty much my guy. If I were to ever given the pleasure of writing a JSA character, someone ever said, "Who do you want to do?" I'm doing a fucking Ted Grant ass kicking issue, you know.
Yes.
But nope. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, is that Jeff?
That's Jeff Lemire.
Oh, it is. Yep. Okay. Yep. Sorry. For some reason, I was thinking Jeff Johns, but you're right. Jeff Lemire. No, but that's why I was like, Jeff? Yeah, no, I read the first 3 or 4 issues. I wasn't crazy about the art either. If I'm just, I mean, I don't think it's bad. It just wasn't my thing.
It had a very indie style to it. It really wasn't what I wanted from a JSA book. But I will say this. It is better than the JSA thing that Jeff Johns did prior to this. That tried to incorporate.
What are you talking about? It had Helena Wayne. What are you talking about? No, I'm kidding.
God.
Yeah, that was also. I feel like that ended up being a mess because there was. I feel like this is the second time he said something where, like, his story was, you know, spiraling out of something, but then DC decides to just completely change their plans, and then he's like, "What the hell?" Like,
yeah, because he had elements from like Flashpoint, Watchmen, Tom King's shitty Batman Catwoman run, and it's like, what the hell is this? When is this taking place? I don't know.
Yeah. Wild. Jana put the baby is 18 now. Listen, I just went to go get milk, Jana.
Milk and cigarettes.
Cigarettes. Pity the fool. Yeah, so I will be Greater Parrot. I will be catching up with that in trade. For me, it wasn't something I wanted to keep reading monthly, unfortunately, and which is crazy because Jeff Lemire usually is like a like guarantee for me that I'm gonna love his stuff. So, JK put the Lost Children were fun though. You talking about the Jeff Johns and the Jeff Johns story?
Is that what that storyline was?
I don't know. It's all a blur. I'm gonna be honest. That was kind of in the point in time where DC was really spiraling for me. Mm-hmm. And then once they started what was the DC All In.
No, The Lost Children. That was well, that was the when it turned out there was this whole other superhero teens that were stuck on this island that no one knew about. Jay Garrick and his wife actually had a daughter, which I threw my hands and said, complete bullshit. No.
Yeah.
That's from just completely. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to go on a tangent. No, we're here for the best of the month. We're best of the month.
Indeed. All right. So we did talk about Nemesis Forever #2. We are going to move on to our next honorable mention, and it is Invincible Universe Battle Beast #5, written by Robert Kirkman, with art by Ryan Ottley and colors by Annalisa Leone. This book, we both kind of were a little uncertain of it at the beginning, and we didn't dislike it. We were just like, no, it's fine. It's okay. We weren't on the same hype train as everyone else, but I think 5 issues in now, we've kind of really picked up with the story. We're having a lot of fun with it. But it's just a fun action-packed book.
Yeah, I think people, I still firmly believe, I'll say it to this day, that people were very much overpraising the first couple issues of Battle Beast, especially issue #1. I thought it was very boring. Granted, it was a beautiful book, but it was just very boring. Purple level of prose in that book, which was obnoxious. But thankfully, it's gotten better. It's gotten to the point where it should be, and each issue has progressively gotten better. And this issue was an absolute blast. Yeah, it was a Battle Beast against Juggernaut, and it was one hell of a fight. And once again, beautifully illustrated by Ryan Ottley.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are killing it right now. So, I'm glad that I wasn't alone in being like, I don't understand the level of the hype. And I do think the blind bags, I'm going to be honest, I do think the blind bags early on added to the hype. It's the experience. I get it.
Yeah.
But I remember reading the story and I was like, yeah, it's fine, guys. Like, calm down.
Yeah, guys, let's cut the Prozac in half. All right. It's not that great. Yeah.
I remember Max was like, no, dude, this is so good. I'm like, Max, it's fine. It's fine. He's like, no, I was like, look, here's the issues that I have with it. And I was just like going through. But yeah, no, it's gotten better. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I will say, if I appreciate anything for sure, it's the amount of action this book has. Because there's too many books that don't have enough action. But
yes.
Yeah, we do have Andrew Gonzalez joining us. Yeah. He says, "Sup guys, hope I didn't miss too much." No, man, we're I think like 3 books in. So 4 books in, if that. We're not too far in. So not missing much at all. And Salty coming in with this hate from Battle Beast blind bags is troubling. Salty was getting on to me even for not being crazy about the Mark Spears blind bags. Look, I think the covers are great. I don't jump on the blind bag hype.
So. No, and I was there firsthand at New York Comic Con experiencing it. The Mark Spears, they were nuts, but people don't give enough or talk about this. The Crow blind bags, those holy shnikes. They were selling them for 20 or 30. People were marking them up for 100. It was insane. Yeah.
No, Salty will always give me crap, and I expect nothing less from him. But especially with blind bags and the Damn It Josh, like I hope he's always there to call me out on those things. He did so. Salty is saying the Crow blind bags are on his bucket list.
Well, if you wanted one, man, you should have hit me up. I could have gotten you one. Jesus, hell, I could have gotten you 10. Jeez,
10. We're gonna go just call James O'Barr and be like, "Yo, you have any laying around?" I didn't even realize that there were blind bags for the Crow. See, that's how out of the loop I've been.
Only reason why I knew is because on Instagram, Big Time Collectibles, they were advertising them. They were showing like, yeah, we have all these. We have like 100 some odd sketches by James O'Barr of the Crow. We're putting them in randomly in our mystery bags. Wow. People were actually picking them up and weighing them to see if they could find out which ones had the sketches in them. And people are flipping them for $100. It's insane.
That's wild. Hey. Salty Foot, I asked someone on this panel to get me something once and he couldn't be bothered. So
wow.
To be fair, I couldn't find what you were asking for. And even though shoot, why can't I think his name now? Bjorn.
Bjorn Barons?
Yes. I always kept wanting to say Bearson, and I was like, that is not it. He didn't even have those covers at his stand because he had some of his books there.
Oh, was it a Space Ghost cover?
It was Space Ghost, and I'm wanting to say Vampirella. And then I will never forget, Max and I drove to that comic shop we went. Well, we went to like 3 different comic shops.
Yeah.
And then drove to another comic shop, and we couldn't find them. Like, dang, this sucks. So, yeah, that was, I had to be like, bro, I let you down. Because at first I was like, yeah, not a problem. I got you. And then I totally just didn't have him. Whoops. I did try, though. I did try. All right, moving on to our next honorable. Oh, dang, I did not update the art here. That's my bad. This is supposed to be Skin Breaker number 2, and I think I saw Skin Breaker just kept going. Second issue. So, Drew, what did you like about the second issue, and why is this making your top 10?
Once again, the art is immaculate in this series, and I really like to believe in another world, this would be a great Black Panther series. And I love how you have the elder fighting the younger one for pretty much leadership of the tribe.
Yep.
And we see that cyclical now. We see in the future the young guys become the elder, and he's being criticized. So it looks like people are going to be questioning him to get him knocked off his pedestal. But I like the fight. I love the art. I love the creatures. Yeah, it is a very, very fun read.
Yeah, I know we talked about that first issue, and when it came out, I think we were expecting something just a little different.
Yes.
And now that I've gotten that out of the way,
yeah,
Conan, and even like Barbaric to a degree, this reminded me of. But when we got in there, it's way more subtle than those books, and it's a little bit of a slow burn. But yeah, for me, the second issue definitely I connected with it more, and just this kind of passing on the mantle. But the reason and the need that the elder believes he needs to pass on the mantle, which ultimately means his death.
Yeah.
So I liked that approach. I liked that storytelling here, and I thought it was really top notch. And since I'm an idiot and had the wrong information up, I pulled this up so we could see the actual cover real quick. But I will say the art, beautiful. Just great work. David Finch is killing it with the art. And would they say they think it took 2 to 3 years for him to do this? Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but killing it. It's a beautiful book. I was a little uncertain about the colors at times, but it's a very minor complaint in the grand scheme of things. So good work all around. Alrighty. You're welcome, Salty. Yeah, despite the failure, I will always try for you, brother. And then guys are put someone on this panel didn't let me down. Yours was a little easier to get because I was getting Drew and Aaron's books, so that they were right there, and we had boxes of them. I actually resent Drew the video. I don't think I ever shared it on social media.
Oh yes, yeah.
So when we got to Dallas, Drew and I got there a little earlier for Fan Expo, and we were trying to bag and board the stuff. And Drew clearly has done quite a bit of bag and boarding because he had inserted the boards into the bags and inserted the comics for his whole set that he had. And I had still not even finished inserting the boards into my bag. So I was like, well, I just suck at this. That's great. Yes, Salty said the colors in Skin Breaker number 2 were excellent. Agreed. It's just that early on you had a lot of browns and yellows, and we needed less of that. So we did get that fixed, but agreed. All right, moving on to our next honorable mention. We have no more honorable. Hey, 6 through 10, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're gonna move into our top 5 picks. Just a reminder, Drew's list will be covering the overall picks. I will be covering the top 5 debuts. Now, I will say 3 books that I wanted to read that I didn't get to read. One was it was the Bad Idea book that came out. Save Now. I couldn't get my hands on a copy, so I didn't get to read that, but I heard great things about it. And I will say it probably would have made my list had I read it. There was also I know people are gonna give me shit, but a distillery book that maybe had potential, because I'm gonna say some of my top 5 are just okay. And then the final book was the Chris Condon book that came out. That's supposed to be kind of like the horror themed. Did you
Chris
get to read?
Condon?
Yeah. It's like Strange Happenings or Stranger Happenings or something. That I didn't know about when it came out, and then I discovered it after, and then I just forgot about it again, unfortunately, until pulling this list, and I saw it in the thing, and I was like, "Oh crap, I wanted to read that." But it looks like it's a mini series that he's doing with Oni Press, and it got some high praise as well. So, womp womp. So those books may have potentially been on my list, but because I didn't get them or couldn't get them, they did not. But coming in at number 5, I'm going with a little bit of a nostalgia pick, and I'm going to say this book isn't for everyone, but for the target audience that it's for, it's done incredibly well. And that is actually Gotham Academy first year, number 1. I will forever say, I don't care who you are, the first Gotham Academy book was excellent. It was written in a way that high strangeness, that was it. Okay, Salty City wasn't a fan of the art, so interesting. Kaiser, News from the Fallout isn't a number 1, you goober. But he is writing that book, and I want to read that, but I want to read it in trade because it's a lot going on, and it's kind of hard to differentiate characters. Gotham Academy. I will say the first 12 issues of Gotham Academy is excellent. I think it averaged like a 9.5 rating from us at Batman News when it was coming out. It was just such a well done book. And yes, you are following kids, but it didn't feel too teeny. It started off very light, but it was real quick to say, hey, there's undertones of a story that we are going to tell here that's serious. But you're following Olive Silverlock, who is the daughter of, oh crap, why can't I think of her name? Calamity. It's whatever Calamity's real name is. She was
Calamity Jane?
Huh?
Calamity Jane?
No. Crap. Hold please. Oh crap, I can't remember. Anyways, Calamity's one of a Batman villain that goes back to like the 70s, and it's just a really good story. But she's taken on her mother's power. She has the same powers, but she can't control them. So she is constantly setting things on fire, but she kind of blacks out when it happens. But there's a lot of mystery and intrigue. There's a lot of lore about the academy itself and how it was started and why it was started and the way it's run. But Carl Kerschel is one of the writers, and he just is infusing so much story into this. And then he's got Brendan Fletcher with him writing, and the two of them are great. And then you have Becky Cloonan coming in, and Cloonan.
One half of the Clunrad. Yes.
Yes. One thing that I will say goes against this particular book is Carl Kerschel is also doing art for the first few books, and he's not here. And that definitely knocks the book down a little bit for me. But if you're looking for something that's family friendly, you can read with everyone, that is fun, but also has some weightier stakes, this is one of those books. So I would say don't knock it just because of its title or just because it seems like it's targeted for a teen audience. It's actually got a decent story to tell. So, JK, you didn't. I mean, look, Maps. If there's anything that's definitely like to catch that younger audience or the younger kids, it's the character of Maps. But I thought Maps was really endearing, especially when they moved into the more serious stuff. But she's also the youngest. She's like the youngest of the kids. But that's fair. I will allow it this time. But yeah, if you didn't check out Gotham Academy, if you haven't checked it out, any of them, go check it out. Drewski, your number 5 pick coming in with its return, Rook Exodus number 7, written by Jeff Johns with art by Jason Fabok and colors by Brad Anderson. So we went on, what was it, a 6-month hiatus?
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah. Definitely probably for Jason Fabok to do his thing, because my God, this art is freaking gorgeous. Oh my God, I sucked this week. Hold please. This is pissing me off. Again, I spent the weekend tearing my kitchen apart. I don't have a kitchen right now. So I do apologize for my mix-ups here. But Jason Fabok killing it on the art. We get the return. So you've got this world machine on this planet that's they're wanting to get it started to try to save or recover this planet as much as they can. And then we're following these characters that I can't remember what they call wardens. That's it. And they each can control certain animals. And you've got some wardens that are some good people and wardens that are definitely not good people, or maybe some wardens that have been connected with these animals a little too long and their animal instincts are coming out. But I thought this was a great return. There is quite a bit of exposition in this issue to catch you up, which, I mean, I think whenever you read the collective versions, you're gonna be like, God, why are they doing this? But the fact that we were gone for 6 months or had that 6-month hiatus, I was really excited that was there, because I was like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But what were your thoughts on the book?
No, I had an absolute blast bringing us back into the world. What's going on? Acclimating us to the wardens. Hey, are they going to be stopping Rook? Are they going to be joining Rook? I don't know. It was great, and the art, once again, Jason Fabok, complete lights out. He kills it on the art, and he killed it as well as the recent issue that came out this past week, number 8. It's fantastic, creepy as shit. It's a recommend for this. Everyone should be reading this series.
Agreed. I'm so mad that I don't have the art up, because it's so good. This is also a book where I feel like they just need to make action figures for these characters, because they would make great action figures. So
yeah, very toyetic. Yeah.
Very toyetic indeed. Salty Traveling Sea, but Rook number 7, a year-long hiatus. Crazy. I guess it was a year. It felt like it was less than that and longer. I'm time blind. I'm just gonna let you know. Like, I'm like, yeah, I think it was a few months ago, and it's like, yeah, no, that was 2 years ago. I'm like, well, whoops. And then JK also loved Rook Exodus number 7. I will say I enjoyed 7. I thought 8 was even better, so I can't wait to talk about it. Gosh, it was just pretty bombastic. And yeah, gorgeous. It sets the bar so high. Agreed. And then guys are giving me shit because I got Aquaman here, but he says he controls the sea animals now. Shut up, Kaiser. I'm just bringing my Robbieisms into this stream, okay? I'm not gonna fence it on an opinion. So and then yeah, beautiful book. We also have Zach's coming back in. Hey Josh, what's up, Zaxy Poo? Nice to see you. But yeah, I can't say enough about Rook. Go get it. It's such a cinematic and blockbuster type book. So it's definitely worth your time. All right, moving into our number 4 picks, and this is probably where I'm gonna get shit from the chat, but I will I will say I have my reasons, and I will stick to the opinion that I've had, which I think this book was fine. I just wanted more. And even still, I'm wanting more, and they may or may not deliver. But I did go ahead and put DC KO here, because I do think we can have fun with this. But everything we've gotten was this first issue, which really took its time. And then at the end of the book, you finally got some good, interesting action. And then we've had the Superman tie-in, which felt like regurgitation. And then the Batman, which I think you and I both said the night fight was like, okay, we feel like we've been here, done this. What I am looking forward to, and what I do think there's potential of, is seeing stuff with the other characters. If they can come in and just do a high action fight book, I think they can redeem themselves. Would you share that sentiment or no?
All I'm going to say is that I'm sure I'm at the same sentiments that Wes did. It's that it's been over a month now, and we haven't gotten the tournament at all. It's just been this, and I'm trying to find another word outside of crap, but it's just been filler going on. And it's like, let's get to the actual tournament, please.
How long? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it. I think we're really seeing the Scott Snyderisms in this, where it's just someone who can't have fun, someone who needs to overcomplicate simple things.
Yes. What I was going to say is, because this is kind of a twofold statement, dovetailing with what you just said. How long do you think this book is supposed to go? Because I feel like the other worlds coming in isn't supposed to happen till like February or March, right? Like the other universes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So that kind of concerns me a little bit. However, I do think we are going to get to a point where Kaiser's putting, have you seen this list? It seems like every battle gets its own one shot. I do think we're going to get to a point where Joshua Williamson can kind of do the same thing he's been doing with G.I. Joe and just have some fun. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for that. And ultimately that's what this is here for, or why this is here.
If there's one argument I hate, it's like, hey, give it time, man. Give it time. I'm like, no, I will not play that game. I refuse to play that game because there is nothing stopping a writer from having a balls to the wall action book from issue 1 from Jump Street. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. And
okay, I will agree with you. Yep, go ahead.
And this is going back as far back as Secret Wars, issue number 1s, full on action, introducing us, you're not making it fucking boring and tedious. Oh, we're going to get to it eventually. Yeah, we're going to get to it. All right. It's going to happen. Like, no, I'm not paying $7 to keep fucking waiting till we get to the damn action.
I will say, I agree with you in the respect of when there are events like this. I do think there's no excuse not to have a bombastic, like balls to the wall first issue, especially when they actually did an okay job of setting the story up in different books leading up to this. I guess antithesis to that comment would be if you've got like a 12 issue maxi series and it's not necessarily a event, or I'm whatever, like I'm okay with the slow burn there. But
that's fine.
Yes,
but
we
when you have an event called DC KO, it's this big fight tournament.
Agreed.
Like, this better be a fucking fight tournament. And it's been a month. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Look, here's the thing. They're starting off with about as much energy as they had in that San Diego Comic-Con review video that Salty sent us. Or they're like, yeah, there's so much crazy stuff we're doing for this. It's going to be so wild. You don't want to miss it. I think for me, I'm holding out hope that it will become what they're preaching that it's supposed to be. So that's what I'm going on with. And then yes, I knew this was going to be the controversial pick, but I need you guys to understand, like 30 of these other number ones for the month were like those X-Men tie-in books and a bunch of other shit that's even worse than this. But yeah, Salty put, my God, dude, what the fuck? Fun. We're gonna have fun. And then yes, tell Drew to preach, Dolan, amen. And last thing he put was $7 effing over and over to not get them to bang the stripper in the champagne room. No way. Fair. I understand. That's fair.
You think Mark Miller would be loitering around like this? Hell no.
No, Mark has become the king of giving us these just quick, short stories. Like anywhere from like 4 to 7 issues, he's been giving us banger issues.
Yeah, even the big crossover event he had with all of his characters.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Even when that was coming out, we were saying, if you ever want to know how to do an event book, this is how you do it. You don't dilly-dally. You just get right to it. You come out of the gate swinging. And then he did that for 5 issues straight. Just he was throwing some punches. And then Salty put, Garth Ennis would be stacking bodies like firewood and stakes would be real. Maybe old school Garth Ennis. I don't know about him.
I don't know if he's got that same. I don't think he's got that fire in him anymore.
No, his recent stuff has been, buddy. But yes, I do understand what you're saying. So, anyways, that's my shitty number 4 for everyone tuning in. Don't kill the messenger. We're gonna move on to Drewski's number 4, and Drew, your number 4 pick for the month of October is Batman Dark Patterns number 11, written by Dan Waters with art by Hayden Sherman and colors by Triona Farrell. I think this book is so fantastic. I'm so sad that issue 12 is the final issue. And the art in this book is just so freaking good.
Yeah, and once again, Hayden Sherman, he is just a master at page layouts. I don't say that lightly. I'm going to keep preaching this until everyone has it pretty much burned into the back of their brains. The last time I saw someone lay out a page like he does is Todd McFarlane when he did Infinity Inc. for DC Comics all those decades ago. This is a very, very rare talent to see this in comics. Not just a great artist, but someone who could do interesting, unique page layouts where your eyes are always moving. It's not like what we just saw with DCKO, where you just see bland, boring panels. No, here they're laid out in an interesting style, and your eyes are always moving, trying to discover new things in the page. That's what makes a great artist and great storyteller. And that's why I'm going to keep singing his praises as well as the praises for this book, because I love the story, I love the villain, I love the mystery, I love the drama. It's a fantastic Batman series.
It is a 100% agree with you there. It is a fantastic Batman series. I mean, we're talking a lot about Hayden Sherman's art, which is fantastic here. Way better here than what Hayden's doing over in Absolute Wonder Woman. But I just feel like Hayden Sherman's more inspired by this book, and
yes.
you get to see it here. And that's also a testament to Dan Waters and the script that he's writing here. It is a gritty, dark, kind of seedy Gotham, and I feel like it's been forever since we've gotten that. But I'm loving this. I love that it's essentially 4 cases that all you kind of have these threads just lingering, and we're all kind of getting stuff pulled together here. But I'm sad this book's coming to a close. I wish we were getting more. I hope at some point they bring it back or do something else, because this was a winner in my book, and I feel like not enough people are talking about it. So hopefully it finds a good audience once it gets collected.
Yeah, me too.
Real quick, we had Zach's come in, and this is referring to DCKO, but he put those 2 pages in the living room look action packed. Oh man, all the action was at the end.
And those were the preview pages they were trying to sell us on this event, and it's just like,
yes, I know.
This is DCKO. This is what you want to sell us on.
Specifically, that issue. There's some good action at the end, but you do have to.
It's not the actual tournament. It's just like a bullshit fight thing. And it's just like, wait, this the tournaments? What the hell's going on here?
Yeah. And once they get to the tournament, they better not skimp on the actual fights. That's all I'm gonna say. If that happens, I'm gonna be dropping F-bombs like nobody's business.
Well, we know Scott Snyder can't do fights. He can't do fight scenes.
No, but Joshua Williamson can. So I'm just like, fingers crossed. Let him do his thing. Yeah, wild. By the way, did you know I just heard this? I'd never heard this before, but I just found out when they did New 52 and he did the Court of Owls story, that originally was not written with Bruce. Did you know that?
Wait. Say that again?
So when they were launching the New 52,
yeah,
Scott had been writing Detective Comics with Dick.
Yeah.
And he had pitched Court of Owls where Dick was Batman because they hadn't made their decision on taking Dick out of the Bat mantle. And Grant Morrison was still writing Batman and Robin and doing that whole thing. And when they went to them and said, hey, we're going to do a change up and kind of relaunch, they had originally told them that they were going to move forward with Dick as Batman. So Grant Morrison was still on board, was going to keep writing a Batman book. I think he's supposed to be writing Detective Comics moving forward. And Scott was going to do Batman. And then they went and go, oh, just kidding. We're going to bring Bruce back in. So they had to go through, and then Grant Morrison was like, I'm done. Like, you guys told me we're going to move forward with Dick. That's why I wanted to be here. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm done. But I found out because Dan DiDio came back and said that he feels like that's one of the biggest legacy failures he had was not letting Dick continue as Batman, and discuss it. I was like, what in the world? How did I not know this?
Yeah, it's like, wait, wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, but it makes more sense to me now that Dick's story is more connected with the actual Court of Owls than Bruce's. I was like, okay, well, all right, okay, I guess. Yeah, wild. But yeah, no, Batman, great book. Let's see what the other comments are real quick. What are we talking about here? Does the carpet match the drapes? Who are we talking about? I'm concerned. Salty, but I can't wait for the trade paperback on Dark Patterns. Only got the first. Oh man,
just it gets better, man. Just wait.
Yeah, it just gets so good. Kaiser's in the same boat. Salty put, I was on Dark Patterns in that Werewolf Batman series. Full Moon Rising or
Bad Moon Rising.
Bad Moon, yeah, something like that. It was fine. That was a fine book. This to me is by far the better book. You have to buy the one shots to witness the actual action. Well, ish, because even Batman Night Fight was,
Yeah.
JK put Court of Owls would have been better with Dick, more of a relationship. Yeah, I'm sure. And like Dark Mirror, I love Dark Mirror. I think it's a great Batman story. And then Salty coming in with hit the like button. Josh does the crap by TCKO. Oh man. Well, you know where I live. Kidding. And then Jackie put, how did I know that and y'all didn't? I know nothing. I don't know. That was just something that never, and especially with Batman News and how close we were with DC and the Bat team at that time. I don't know. But wild. All right, moving on to our number 3 picks for the month of October. I am coming in with, I did put Superman Red and Blue 2025 special number 1. Look, most of I will say the first story, in my opinion, was the worst story, and it was Paul Dini's story. And I can't tell you,
Josh, I'll be right back. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
I can't tell you how disappointed I was with that. And then also, while pulling the images, I pull images from the previews they send. But this is all Paul's work with Mirka and Afal. Salty, but whoa, this is shocking. Salty, again, go look at the number 1s for this past month, and it was slim pickings. And also, had I gotten, this is why I made that precursor statement of had I gotten the Bad Idea book and the Distillery book, they probably would have made my list. That's why. This is very clearly why. Now, what I will say is I thought there were 2 stories that were solid in here. One was actually the last story in the book that was Rainbow Rowell. I thought it was a solid story with their anniversary. I liked a lot of the characterization there. I finally felt like we got a little bit of John Kent feeling like the John Kent when he was younger. Just there's a moment where he calls Lois to say, hey, has Dad called you yet to wish you happy anniversary? And she goes, no. And he goes, well, he will. But there's this whole thing of, just how they try to balance Superman being Superman in his relationship with Lois. But for me, there is one story in here that I thought was really good. It illustrated incredibly well, and it was the Michael Walsh story. So that's the guy that did Universal Monsters Frankenstein. And whenever he writes and does his own art, it is just masterclass comic book making. But that story in particular, where it's just Superman just trying to constantly be there, and then you're hearing everything in the background that he can't necessarily get to, and how he has to just recenter himself and then keep going. I thought it was a really good story. So, but yeah, Salty said I wanted to grab this only for the Michael Walsh first DC book thing to get signed. Yeah, Michael Walsh story, and like I said, Drew and I were both really surprised. The Rainbow Rowell story was actually better than anything I've ever read from Rainbow Rowell, by far. It makes me wonder if an editor halfway wrote that.
Yep, I'm very concerned. I'm fairly convinced that an editor did most of the heavy lifting on that, just like a editor probably did most of what's her name's work on Batman Dark Detective during the 5G features.
Mariko Tamaki?
Yes.
Yeah. Look, even Mariko's like detective run started off solid and then went to shit with the Arkham Tower weekly bullcrap. So yeah,
we got Dr. Chase Meridian finally.
Oh no, nope. I'm good. Don't need it. But yeah, hey, the power of a good editor can do a lot. So, Drew, your number 3 pick for the month of October 2025 is Incredible Hulk number 30. So this is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Nick Klein and colors by Matt Wilson. And this was a just high impact, super bombastic, action packed issue.
Anytime Nick Klein is doing the art for this book, that's when I sit up and pay attention. That's when you know it's going to be quality. Because I'm not going to lie. If Nick Klein had been on this series more frequently, if he'd done more issues instead of one issue every 6, it seems like, this would be probably in the top 10 of the year. But it isn't because of that. I mean, this book loses steam when Nick isn't on there on the art. And his art in this issue shows. This is a full-on kick-ass fight between Hulk and Abomination. And it has one hell of an ending. It's gruesome. It's horrific. I love it. It is a brutal, brutal comic. And if you're a Hulk fan, you got to love this.
I will say, like, we've got these 3 preview pages here, and you can see how action-packed it is. This does not let up for the entire issue. Like, the entire book is just one massive fight. And Drew mentioned it's brutal. Like, this is nothing compared to where it gets. I remember when we were looking at this on Floppy Drop, it surprised me because I have been reading this, and we've never brought up Hulk before. But you're like, no, this issue, like, really just, like, was kick ass. And then when we were flipping through it, it was just fantastic. So good pick. I'm glad it's here. I'm hoping Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein can kind of keep this work up and maybe get more eyes on the book. I'm never upset with a good Hulk run. So
same.
All right, we're going into our number 2s, and these are the books that I wholeheartedly feel really good about for my pick. Yay! But coming in for my number 2 pick, I picked Spider-Man Noir number 1, written by Eric Larson with art by Andrea Picardo and colors by Rochelle Rosenberg. I thought this was a really slick, fun issue and some of the best Spider-Man stuff I've read in a while. So you got a lot of action-packed stuff. I feel like we had good characterization. They did it. I feel like he did a solid job of having us in this world in 1939 and not trying too hard, if that makes any sense. I feel like a lot of times when you get something like this, lesser writers go way too far out of their way to make it feel like it's in that time period or of a certain era or whatever it might be. But for me, I thought this felt like just a well-balanced reimagining for Spider-Man Noir. And I kind of loved every bit of this, honestly. Like, the action was good. You do have the one thing at the end where he's fighting like Nazi bats, which you can easily go like, oh god, Nazis, because we get so much of that. However, it is 1939, so I will give it a pass. But just the detective aspects, you get the Peter aspects of, like, they tie it to the fact of the Spider-Verse stuff that's going on and him getting back to this world, and he's been gone for so long that he's lost his apartment. They're closing up shop on his detective agency because he wasn't there to pay rents for like, it felt like those classic Spider-Man stories of, like, you're just watching the guy who's doing so much, but he's down on his luck in the real life. And I like that. And the Gwen Stacy bit and the murder mystery, I thought was a lot of fun. So, Drew, I think you read this, correct?
Yeah, I did. I thoroughly enjoyed this one as well, and it's one of the best Spider-Man comics I've read in a long time, and which is saying a lot because Spider-Man's been at a very, very low bar recently. But I don't want it to be a backhanded compliment, but it's a fantastic issue. It's a very, very fun issue, and I hope this pace keeps up in the subsequent issues. And I almost put this in my top 5-10 of the year. It was one of those few where it just kept getting bumped lower and lower because honestly, it was in there. I consider I had it in my list, but it kept getting knocked down.
Yeah, but, I mean, look there. You have your top 10 list for this month, and there's a lot of books that I would say have made our the top 10 list before that didn't make it for this month. It was a pretty competitive month for overall books. So
yeah, and
all
like you
right,
said, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you should enjoy this. If
yeah.
you're a Spider-Man noir fan like me, you'll enjoy this. I can't wait for the Nick Cage series on
Oh my
Amazon.
gosh, yeah.
I'm going to be there, first person. Can't wait for it to drop. Yeah, Spider-Man Noir is a recommend.
Noir.
Noir.
I will say, as different as this universe is, it's the most Peter Parker I felt that we've had in Peter Parker.
100%. That's one thing we've been missing that. We've been missing a Peter at his core, who he is. And it's great seeing Peter broke, getting ready to be evicted, finds a hot dame who's into him, and he's got Aunt May doing her thing. And that's the Spider-Man story. That's what Spider-Man should be.
Yeah. Just, throw in some toots and stuff. Hey,
toots and some dames. Yeah.
I love it. All right, going on to your number 2 pick for the month of October, we have Space Ghost, number 4, written by David Pepose, with art by Jonathan Lau and colors by Andrew Dahlhaus. This was another fun issue full of shark dudes.
I had an absolute blast reading this. One thing I love about David Pepose is that with this series is that he's expanding upon the lore and the myth of Space Ghost, really building this universe, building all these different alien races and the past of Space Ghost, prior loves as well. And here you get, this crystalline race as well as space sharks, fucking space sharks. And I love it. And their Space Ghost and the twins are hired to keep the peace while the peace deal is being brokered. But yeah, there's an assassin who trying to keep that from happening. I cannot recommend this series enough. This will probably, I'll say it'll be in the top 2 of the year for Space Ghost for me. Every issue has just been so damn fun, and it's everything a superhero comic should be. And on top of Jonathan Lau doing every single damn issue, and guy's a rock star. Like I said, I'll say it before, I'll say it again. He will be on a major book after Space Ghost. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that his work consistently looks good, and he can do different genres well. Because that's one thing David Pepose has managed to do with this first volume and even into the second volume is get a lot of different tones and themes in here. It's like fun, high action packed issues sometimes. It's serious action packed issues sometimes. There's emotional, heartfelt moments quite a few times. Like he bounces. This book just has such a good balance, both from the narrative aspect and the visual aspect. And kudos to this team. It's the best work that David Pepose has ever done. And I think this, as you said, is just the beginning for Jonathan Lau because he is killing it. And I think it's only a matter of time before DC or Marvel try to scoop him up, and hopefully it's DC and not Marvel. But or Ghost Machine. Who knows? But great pick, great book. Salty's right here with you. Dude, that Space Ghost was incredible. And then he put the cliffhanger ending. Indeed.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't know if this is gonna make my top 2, but I know we look at books different than we do for the year. Because I don't mind taking like shorter stories and put them in there. But this is definitely in my top 10 for sure. All right. It's that time. We're coming in with our number 1s. Now it's time. Oh, dude, yes. Saltspit, I want Lau to go to Ghost Machine 100%. I would love to see him do like a Batman book just for the sake of seeing him do Batman, but I think for the sake of his career and being sure he gets a better writer and a better story, I think Ghost Machine's the way to go.
Ghost Machine, have him on Geiger or something, do some Geiger stand-ins, and hell, on top of that, if Mark Miller keeps doing Nemesis books, I would love to see him on Nemesis.
Yeah, that also would not be a bad mix. Look, Jonathan Lau, as far as we're concerned, wanted man. It may not be true outside of this, but we would make him a wanted man for sure.
Yes.
All right, number 1. let's see if I'm going to disappoint everyone with my number one pick. But I came in with Speed Racer Tales from the Road #1. Did you read this?
I did not because, hey, Mark Russell's doing the main series and he did the Racer X. So I saw this title and I'm like, oh, Mark Russell's doing another one. No thanks. Not reading it.
Yeah. So this is Mark
London.
Yeah, so this is Mark London. I didn't read this. This is something I didn't read the week it came out. And a few people were like, oh, you should check it out. It's good. First of all, I'm going to say the art by Sebastian Perez, for me, does the heavy lifting. This is a beautiful book. If I have one complaint about the art, and you can kind of see it here with this third page, there are pages that has a lot of white space, and it's done for an effect. It is done for an effect, but sorry, River was whining. But overall, it's a beautiful book. He does really fun things with silhouettes, really fun things with colors. And then I remember Space Ghost. I mean, not Space Ghost. I remember Speed Racer, the cartoon, but I don't remember a lot of the details. So for Racer X, he's like an agent here. He's like a spy that also has done some criminal stuff.
Yeah, and he's Speed Racer's older brother. Oh my god!
Oh my god! But he's working a mission here. I thought it was a lot of fun. Way better than I thought it was going to be. There were a few hokey moments towards the end when he's going after, I think the guy's name is Viking or something, the code name for who he's going after. It gets a little cheesy, but for the most part, it has a serious tone. It's fun. I loved there are elements when he's driving that they have a little like panel that shows what he's doing while driving. So you get the like shifting gears like moment that you do in like car chases in movies. It just gives it this feeling of you're seeing what he's doing, and you can imagine those things happening where he's slamming on the brake, turning at the same time and shifting gears to get it to spin, the car to spin. The way they show that, I thought was really cool. But fun book again, great art. I'm not familiar with this artist, but I'm going to look up his other stuff because I thought all of this was really cool and really fun. So. Kaiser put I didn't like the Free Comic Book Day book, so I skipped Speed Racer. I didn't even read the Free Comic Book Day. Was that the one that was Mark Miller? I mean, not Mark Miller, but Mark Russell.
Probably, yeah.
And then Salty put I skipped it after the other Speed Racer book. Yeah, the other Speed Racer book I didn't care for.
I read it. It's
fine.
Nah, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm surprised Mark Russell keeping his instincts and bad ideas in check, or keeping his shit in check. But it's fine. It's not great. It's not Space Ghost great, but it's
no.
Yeah.
But for me, this was for me by far the best debut. So good book. All right, Drewski, we are on to your number one pick for the month of October. There's a couple of titles that we usually discuss that haven't been on the list yet. So let's see what you picked for your number one. Number one book for October 2025 is Transformers number 25, written by Robert Kirkman, with art by Jorge Corona and Dan Mora, and colors by Mike Spicer. I'll let you take away or go first with discussing this.
Yeah, so this is kind of like endings and beginnings, more or less. So one story arc wraps up. We see the fallout from the final battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons, and the Decepticons are in a pretty lousy place after what happened, and Megatron's taking it out on all his men. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be the most the simpest of simps. He's taking you out, and I love it. And we see what's going on with the Autobots, how they're now working with the humans. They're working with the Joes now. And we learn that there is maybe a plethora of Energon that they have taken a hold of, which is going to help the Autobots, heal themselves and bring about some of their old friends who've been lying dormant. I love where it's leading to. Dan Mora's art is absolutely beautiful. Toward the latter half of 25, and Jorge Corona, he goes out on a banger with his pages here. I had an absolute blast with this issue, and they're continuing a great thing here. I mean, 25 issues now. Every issue has been a recommend. And each year it's always been like the very top of recommendations for a series. And for Transformers, that's saying a lot right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I it's interesting because when we first found out that Dana Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona were going to be stepping away from the book, the biggest question was who's going to take over, who's going to fill their shoes, because it's big shoes to fill. And then the announcement came.
We all wanted Alex Cott. And
yeah, unfortunately, we got this milk toast and mayonnaise over here with Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora.
It's incredible the hate these two creators are getting.
My God!
It's like wait. Robert Kirkman, who's written some of them. I mean, can we say prolific? Is that too strong a word for everything he's done?
No, I mean, look, he single-handedly has changed comics.
Yes, I mean, and he I don't know if we would say he saved Image Comics, but he boosted. And to say he's fucking milquetoast or
when you look at Walking Dead,
you are an obtuse idiot.
Right. When you look at Walking Dead and everything that he did with that, and then to come out and then he starts this Energon universe and everything he's doing that, not to mention what he did with Invincible, not to mention even how popular that Firepower series was when it launched. Like the guy, if there's anyone in comics that I feel like is guaranteed to sell some books, it's Robert Kirkman. And comics needs that kind of rock star type vibe, and he himself is not that type of personality, but his books kind of carry that weight. I mean, if we were to go back 3 years ago and say, hey, in like a year there's going to be a Transformers book that's probably going to be the best Transformers thing that we've gotten in a long time, and by far the best comic we've ever gotten, I'm sure we'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, Jan, sit down. But what they're doing, the fact that it's crossing over with G.I. Joe, it's just taking two things that are familiar and it's making it feel so fresh, and just by the way they're approaching it. But they're not necessarily changing the characters. Like this is how you do a modern day retelling. Like you don't change the characters, you don't change their foundations or their moral, compasses. You just kind of get a fresh approach, and this idea of mixing G.I. Joe with Transformers, I think, is really cool. And I'm excited for this crossover to continue unfolding because we've been patient. And I think it's going to be worth it because of that. But fantastic book. I thought this was also a perfect way to do the transition from one creative team to the next. Keeping Jorge Corona on for a few pages to kind of wrap up the Decepticons story, and then moving in with Dan Moore for the Autobots, I thought was just chef's kiss perfect. Execution.
His art was lights out. It's just what you want in a Transformers book, and I couldn't be happier. You got a superstar like Dan Mora doing the interiors, and I'm giddy and excited to see what he's going to be bringing with the subsequent issues. Same thing with Robert Kirkman. For anyone to be doubting what Robert Kirkman's going to do at this point, what is wrong with you? Clearly, you've never read anything from Robert Kirkman. You never read Invincible. You never read The Walking Dead. You never read Marvel Zombies. You never read Battle Pope. You never read Irredeemable Ant-Man. You never read his Ultimate X-Men run. That's just some of the stuff he's written. Clearly, you're just an obtuse idiot. It's just, no, these are two highly talented men. Yeah, you're idiots.
So it was like a week ago. Dan Moore, I think it was a cover Dan Moore did. I think it was interior art for the Batman Night Fight, and someone posted and they're like, okay, but for real, we're all sick of Dan Moore now, right? And I'm like, bro, no. Like his art is so good. Stop.
It's what I want in comic books.
Yeah. Salty put number 25 definitely was the start of a new series. I agree, but I thought they handled it well. And there's still a lot of through lines here that's going, but definitely different tone, different vibe, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's beginnings and endings. It's a transition.
Yeah. Agreed. and he put I snagged number 25.
Transformation, if you will.
Oh, transformation. As long as they're not never mind. He put I snagged number 25, signed by both Corona and Mora.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. He put still gives me wood. Get bricked up. Yeah, that's bomb, dude. Like that's really awesome. And another reason to be excited that they're both doing art for this book is you could just get both their signatures for it. Feel way better about Kirkman after number 25. Agreed. I was curious to see. I mean, I will say with the announcement, we were excited because we felt like it was capable people, but then you also start to get like, okay, but they have to come in and do good. And they did. It's a good start so far. So, alrighty. Well, that is our top books for October 2025. Drew came in with a solid list. I came in with a controversial list. Go figure. I will say I have a harder job in a different way. Drew has the problem of trying to pick through good books. I have a problem of trying to find 5 debuts that are actually worth it. And I would say if anything may have made the list that I didn't put on there, so maybe this will be an honorable mention, was the Cloak or Dagger book. Had good moments, but it also had some cringe moments. So, yeah. Salty, think of every Age of Revelation book and then compare it to DCKO, and I promise you're picking DCKO. Yeah. And then I'll try to make sure I can get my hands on those distillery books and not distillery. Well, distillery was one bad idea because I do feel confident they probably would have made my list. All right, Drewski, before we wrap things up, is there anything you want to share?
Oh, no, just go to your comic book shop tomorrow, get some new comics, and hope you guys are going to be like me. You're going to check out the new Youngblood. I know I will be. So I'm very much hoping that it's a banger of an issue. But we'll see what happens. Yep. But yeah, go to your comic book shop tomorrow. Get some stuff.
Yeah. Salty put the closest I get to reading any Marvel anymore is walking by the rack to the indies. Hey, I mean, if you ever want to just be curious, just flip through the book at the comic shop. And I will say, if you get a single Marvel book that's come out this year, Daredevil Cold Day in Hell is fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's my only Marvel recommend overall for the year.
That's fair.
We got a kissy face from Zax. Thank you, Zax. We will be back on Thursday to discuss this week's comics. And we got some good stuff coming out. So Transformers number 26 is coming out. New issue of Redcoat and the final issue of Batman Dark Patterns, which still just guts me. Oh, so but yeah, so it should be a fun week. And of course, we will do a quick run through of all the X-Men book that's coming out. It's like a freaking laxative going through those books. But
yeah, shit through a goose. Yeah.
Our thumbnails time. But yeah, I'm enjoying these new thumbnails for Floppy Drop. I think they look better than my gay pal. It's Floppy Drop. But yeah, we will be back on Thursday to discuss this week's releases. It'll be a fun time. Of course, we want you guys in the chat to come tell us if we're idiots or on point. And then, yeah, just talk about how good or bad these books may or may not be. But until then, Drew, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Dolan Waddick. You can find me on Instagram, Dolan_Waddick. Yeah, and you can find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can find me on Wes's channel on Saturdays doing the best of the week.
Indeed. You can find me at Joshua L. McDonald on X or at ByPopped if you want to follow the channel. I am also on Instagram if you want to see pictures of my dogs, and it's JoshWorks903 on Instagram. Come see my dogs. They're cute dogs. Anyways, we are here Tuesdays and Thursdays, as Drew said, and pretty much talking comics, just nerd stuff. So looking forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. It's always a blast having you on the chat. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys in 2 days. Night, everybody.
the fun.